started with the DARE program, and I know that you're going to give Officer Madison and all of our guests your attention, and then we'll be giving you your diplomas in a little bit. Parents, I know that some of you probably have appointments that your children will need when they get finished with this, and Ms. Brown will be bringing me a list if you need to take your child to an appointment when this is over. So you can see me afterwards. Okay? So I'm going to turn it over to Officer Madison.
Good afternoon. We can do better than that. Good afternoon. Okay, I want to say first of all, welcome to our 2014-2015 DARE graduation ceremony here at Brewton Middle School. We've had an exciting year this year teaching the DARE program. I've made a lot of new friends with these 5th graders here, and I want to say as you guys move on to the 6th grade and a new wave comes up from the elementary school to join us at the 5th grade level, I want to wish you all the best. I really do. Summer's coming up, and I want to remind you guys to have a safe summer and make responsible choices. If you have any issues, feel free to call the police department. Call them, ask for me, ask for any of these gentlemen up here, and we'll be glad to help you out in any way possible, okay? I want to take a moment before we get started to just recognize some people that have been instrumental in helping the DARE program succeed here at Brewton Middle School. The Brewton City School Systems, Mr. Lynn Smith, for allowing us to come into the school systems, Miss Carrie Brown, principal, and Miss Madeline Cave, assistant principal here at Brewton Middle School, for helping me and being accommodating to me when I needed something, or reminding me, as they have pretty much all year, do this. And lastly, my teachers, Miss Rhonda Adams and Miss Vicki Madden, thank you guys for letting me come in your rooms. I know sometimes it's hard. If I had to prepare a lesson plan for 5 days a week to teach, I would probably go crazy. And I only teach twice a month, so my hat's off to those ladies, because what they do is very valuable. Teaching our children things like right from wrong, and teaching them how to better themselves through education, and taking their academic careers, taking them in a way that they look forward to doing their best. To the parents who've come, and of course you have a vested interest in your child's life, I thank you for coming. I want to say these are a great group of kids that I've taught this year. I look forward to following them throughout their academic career. Hopefully I'll get an invitation down the road to their graduation when they're graduating high school. And I want to just say thank you. They've been really great to teach. And my supervisors, for the gentleman that saw in me something that told them, hey, this guy right here might be a good candidate for DARE. We've had a gentleman been teaching DARE now for a good long time, for over 20 years, and he's kind of passed the torch on to me. So I want to say we welcome our guest speaker first and foremost, Mr. Steve Billy. Beside him is Chief of Police Monty McGugan. We got Lieutenant Brock Holt next to Chief, who, by the way, was in the DARE program under Captain Broughton. We've got Sergeant Patrick Kaler, he's an investigator. And next to him, Captain Broughton, the gentleman that has passed the torch on to me. And on the end, we've got a gentleman that's new with the department. His name is Officer Derek Grant. He just retired from the military, had 20 years of service in the military. He's going to be a great asset to our department. And last but not least, one of the most important things I want to recognize today is a gentleman, like I said, that passed the torch on to me. When he approached me about becoming a DARE officer, Captain Feast Broughton, he actually gave me a new direction in which to send my career. It was a direction that I was interested in, I was kind of hesitant about, and I was also maybe kind of nervous about, because when somebody tells you that you're going to be responsible for all these children and teaching them things, especially about negative effects of drugs and alcohol, it's a big task. And you guys may think we do have fun in class, but on the side, when I'm not away from you, I'm stressing a little bit, because I've got to prepare a lesson plan and make sure that you guys are learning what you're supposed to be learning. So Feast Broughton encouraged me. He encouraged me to be the best that I could be a good role model. And that's hopefully something that I've been able to teach you guys. After my first year of teaching the DARE program, which was in the, well, it was actually in the spring of 2012, Captain Broughton had already been teaching, and I just came on board for the last half of the school year. And I completely agree with him when he told me that it would change my life. So with that being said, I want to ask Captain Broughton if he would come here with me for a second on stage. Captain Broughton. I guess here last week, I met with Captain Broughton, and we were going over all this stuff about the DARE program and what we needed to order for the children, for the essay winners. And he told me that he was hanging up his hat in January. And I know he's going to be around, and I promise you I will not fail to call you if I need something. But let me get this out here. We took a moment to get Captain Broughton something. It's a little something for appreciating him for his time, his service, his effort, his dedication, not only as a police officer for the city of Brewton, but as a DARE instructor. If my time is correct, he has spent over 21 years teaching the DARE program here at the Brewton City School System. So with that being said, I would like to present you with this plaque on behalf of myself and the Brewton Police Department. It says, Brewton Police DARE presented to Feast Broughton for 21 years of faithful service, gratitude, dedication, patience, and leadership. Chief Monty Magoo, Brewton Police Department, May 14, 2015. DARE training and being a DARE instructor is something that has been very challenging yet rewarding for me. Like I said earlier, I'm passionate about teaching your kids about the negative effects of drugs and alcohol. As parents, as teachers, and as law enforcement officers, I believe the most important priority that we should have is we should teach our children to make safe and responsible choices. Now, we learned about that this year in DARE. We talked a little bit about using things called resistance strategies. And we were able to teach the kids that, hey, if you're out in public, if you're with your friends and somebody comes up to you and they offer you some drugs or alcohol or cigarettes and things like that, sometimes when we're by ourselves, sometimes it's harder to resist, or it's easier when we have a group of friends that are like-minded. If you got 5 or 6 people and we say, hey, we're not going to do drugs, we're not going to drink alcohol, it's a lot easier for 5 people to tell one person we're not going to do it. But a lot of times you get drawn in with the peer pressure, and we talked about that too, what it means to have peer pressure on you and others to kind of persuade you to do things maybe you wouldn't normally do. As you've seen over the last month, the Brewton Police Department is completely and totally dedicated to taking drugs off the streets. I know you guys have read the papers and you've seen maybe on Facebook or on the internet. We're going to do everything within our power to make sure that your kids are safe. And with that, kids, you know, don't be places that you shouldn't be. If you don't know someone, don't go with them. You know, don't offer things that they offer to you. Don't accept things. In 1992, Chief Darrell Gates, who was the police chief for the Los Angeles Police Department, started the DARE program. And today, that program is heard in over all 50 states and over 48 countries. So if you wonder if the DARE program is really working, I have to say a resounding yes, because with that many people being heard the program, and we got so many more coming up from the elementary school that'll get to hear it next year. And with that, I'm gonna hush. I'm gonna introduce our guest speaker. He's Mr. Steve Billy, and he's gonna come up to you and he's gonna tell you a little bit about himself. Okay? If you will, give him a round of applause.
Having me today, and I congratulate you for completing the DARE program. I congratulate our essay winners, and I commend our mentors on the back row. And we all need mentors. We all need somebody to look up to keep us on the right path. And people, you know, you go to church to be around people that do right, people that go to meetings like an Alcohol Anonymous and drug program. It puts them around positive people that build you up to try to keep you on track. And I'm the district attorney, and my job is to prosecute when people commit crimes in our county. Many of those are property crimes. A lot of those are crimes that people will steal things just so they can buy drugs with. And it's a big problem. We've got a drug court, and you've learned, I'm sure, in your DARE program about tools, about people to hang around with, what to do, not to accept things people give you. How many of you, raise your hand if you would take a can of rat poison or roach spray and put that in your body. Is anybody in here, raise your hand if you would do that intentionally. Well, you kids can read some of your papers and look online and see. We've got people that are actually ingesting roach poison, spraying it with spraying synthetic marijuana or marijuana, replacing it with rat poison. We've had some deaths. We've just had a death here in Escambia County. Boyfriend brought his girlfriend to the Atmore Community Hospital, and she was unresponsive, and then, well, she was already deceased when he brought her and dropped her off. So they ingested something they got from somebody and possibly didn't know what was even in it, what the effects would be. So use those tools, and we don't always just put people in prison when we prosecute people committing crimes. Sometimes it's a way to help people. If they've got a drug problem, they're out stealing. A lot of times we've got a drug court program, and Mr. Wade Hartley is over here, and he's over our public defender's office. He has several assistants, and they help me, and not help me, we help each other in drug court, try to people have a problem, and we try to use tools. Judge Vern is over that court, and that's the first thing that he will tell them. So you need to change, number one, you need to change your friends, and you need to change your playground, where you hang out, and the people you hang out with, and what you do. They keep people on, they're making them accountable. Every Friday they come. And so even you're in the 8th grade and middle school, you need these type tools. But then these people maybe in our drug court didn't have the benefit of a DARE program, and so they have to learn tools to deal with drugs and alcohol on a bigger scale. But that's a little bit about me, what I do, but I congratulate you on your participation and graduation from the DARE program. If there's something going on, somebody's offering you something, or somebody's pressuring you to do something that you don't want to do, or you know that's wrong, you need to tell an adult, you need to tell a person in authority that they can follow up on and maybe do something about that situation. So you have a voice, and you can use those tools that you've learned maybe to head off the situation or save somebody's life. But thank you again for allowing me to be here and speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Some of you are probably wondering why we got these 4 students up here. Actually, when we called them earlier to the office, the first thing they asked me were they in trouble? They're not in trouble. Back at the middle of the year, I told the students that they were going to have to put together an essay entitled "What I Learned in DARE." And I encouraged them, if they put my name in the paper, they might get extra points, especially if it was positive. But these 4 students here, I'm going to get them to come up. Actually, they didn't know until today when I called them that they were going to have to read their reports in front of the other students and the parents. So to start that, I want first to call, the first one is Brooklyn Ball. If you'll come up, and she's going to read her DARE report for you, okay?
This is what I've learned in DARE this year. I've learned what DARE means. It means define, assess, respond, and evaluate. These are the meanings. Define means to describe the problem, challenge, or opportunity. Assess, what are your choices? Respond means to make a choice. Use the facts and information you have gathered. Evaluate, review your decision. Did you make a good choice? We learned why you shouldn't smoke. It causes heart disease, respiratory problems, and you have bad breath and yellow teeth. In the United States, it is illegal to sell tobacco to people under the age of 18 years old, 19 years old in some states. More than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. 50,000 deaths per year can be attributed to secondhand smoke. We learn to say no to peer pressure. I plan to use what I learned in DARE when I am offered peer pressure to do drugs or drink. DARE means any substance other than food that can affect the way your mind and body work. Thank you, Officer Madison, for teaching me these things that I will need later in life.
Our next next essay winner was Sarah Hartley. There you go.
DARE stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. This is what I have learned in DARE this year. Alcohol is illegal for anyone under the age of 21. Mixing alcohol with medicine is very dangerous. There are about 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in the U.S. Most teens don't drink alcohol, and that doesn't mean they should start. Alcohol slows down the brain and body. Two health effects of alcohol are memory loss and slow reflexes. There are more than 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. Cigarettes contain nicotine, a powerful substance that causes addiction. More than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. Smokers have more colds and upper respiratory problems. Smoking can cause yellow teeth and smelly breath. It is illegal to sell tobacco to anyone under the age of 19. Signs of stress or frustration when you feel terrible, feeling horrible, embarrassed, or sad. An example is when you're walking to your lunch table and you fall. You would probably feel embarrassed and angry. A way to handle it is to just pretend like it never happened. That leads up to bullying. Bullying is when you're harming someone. It may be cyberbullying, spreading rumors, or fighting. If you did fall, some people may call you names behind your back. If somebody is bullying you, you should tell an adult, such as your teacher, principal, or your parents. Last but not least is being a good citizen. Means taking care of your community. You could be picking up trash around your community or town. You could even be doing good deeds if you saw a robber or criminal. If you caught the cops on them, you would be doing something good. The cops may have been looking for that criminal, and now you have found him or her. That is what I have learned in DARE this year.
Next winner is Jacob Taylor. Come on, Jacob.
This is my DARE report. This DARE report was made from Microsoft Presentation 2013. This is something I call the DARE song. People can tell me what they've done. Maybe some things, maybe none. But people can't tell me what to do. I will choose the way that's true for me. Don't want to fall in the trap. Don't want to be somebody's sap. I'm better than that. I'll go to the mat to prove I can be drug-free. D, I won't do drugs. A, won't have an attitude. R, I will respect myself. E, I will educate myself now. Alcohol. Alcohol is illegal for anyone under the age of 21. Mixing alcohol with medicine is dangerous. There are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year in the U.S. Most teens don't drink alcohol. Alcohol slows down the brain and body. Two health effects of alcohol are memory loss and slow reflexes. Tobacco. There are more than 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke. Cigarettes contain nicotine, a powerful substance that causes addiction. More than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. Smokers have more colds and upper respiratory problems. Smokers can cause yellow teeth and smelly breath. It is illegal to sell tobacco to anyone under the age of 18 and 19. Thank you, and also don't use alcohol or tobacco.
And our last winner is Sia Patel.
Program, I have learned to make smart decisions regarding the use of tobacco, alcohol, and drugs, such as marijuana. All of these new things that I've learned have made a big impact on my thoughts. Let me share some things that I've learned. I was taught about the pressure that I will potentially face from friends and sometimes even family to use these substances or to misuse illegal substances. I was also taught many ways to simply say no and to avoid the situations that people put like me in harm's way that would force me to make a decision. The DARE decision-making model influences me most by showing me how to assess and make the right decisions in my life. Due to what I have learned through DARE program, I know I can choose to live a safe, long, and healthy lifestyle. Since through DARE program, I have learned that the largest pressure to use drugs, tobacco, and alcohol comes from my friends. This is called peer pressure. Being a part of a friendship foundation will help keep me in the lowest risk circles of peers and to help avoid these risks and pressures. However, even then, I know I can still face these challenges and the opportunity to use drugs, tobacco, and alcohol, and they may always be present. Through DARE, I was taught how to use the DARE decision-making model. It will help me to make good decisions regarding any situation or challenges that I may face regarding the uses of substances or life in general. There are 4 main steps in the DARE decision-making model. The first step is to define the situation by describing the problem, challenge, or opportunity. Then the second one is to assess. Assess the choice by gathering facts and looking at potential outcomes. Third is to respond by making a choice using the facts, information, and outcomes of your assessed. Finally, evaluate by reviewing the decision, asking if I made the right and the best choice, and what I could do better if I faced with this decision again. Positioning me with Friendship Foundation will lower my risks and pressures regarding the use of drugs, tobacco, and alcohol. These risks do not go away. In my best conclusion from the DARE program, the DARE decision-making model will have the biggest impact on my life. This model will help me make smart and healthy decisions to not only use but avoid situations that involve drugs, tobacco, and alcohol. I realized through DARE that the use of these things do not just impact my life, but also the lives of my friends and families and everyone else that enters my life.
If I could get Miss Cave, come help me with this. To all of my 5th grade students, we've got some certificates for your participation in DARE. You listen for your name, and Miss Cave is going to call your name. When you come up, I'll give you your certificate, okay? And just return to your seat.
Okay, we're going to do this by row, so with the first row, we'll stand up. Okay. Mylan Agee. Let's hold our applause till the very end, and you guys walk in front of the table, okay? AJ Askew. Nolan Atkinson. Tori Baggett. Brooklyn Ball. Gracie Barnes. Dasani Benjamin. Terrell Betts. Anna Bishop. Kyle Blevins. Second row stand. Carefully walk to the edge, all the way down. All the way down. Kyla Britt. Ashley Kane. Ayana Campbell. Tristan Capers. Kanan Carter. Elizabeth Coleman. Trent Cooper. Whitney Culliver. Kobe Curry. India Dees. Colby Dayhoff, Ed Dollarhite, Ethan Driver, Jackson Flores, Nancy Franco, Jarrett Gibson, Drayton Gideons, Emma Guerra, Haley Hardy, Miller Hart, Houston Hartley, Sarah Hartley, Emma Claire Hayes, Nathan Henry, Troy Higdon, Floyd James, Nikira Jenkins, Clay Kirkland, Kaylee Land, Zariah Lane, Angel Lewis, Landon Lindsay, Kaylee Lodge, Sydney Lucas, Austin Madden, Diego Martinez, Sasha McFerguson, Zodi McMillan, Rico McNeil, Rebecca Ann Moore, Kimberly Moore, Emily Morgan, Jordan Morgan, Matthew Murphy, Kate Major, Mia Nelson, Sia Patel, Becca Richardson, Peyton Rowell, Sheridan Russell, Portland Salter, Tatum Salter, Devin Smith, Tyrese Smith, Shia Stallworth. Amaya Taylor. Abby Terrell. Jacob Thalen. Mackenzie Thomas. Brown Thomas. Emma Thompson. Jordan Thompson. Ashley Thurman. Ansley Teal. J.C. Tolbert. Annalie Tubbs. Jeffrey Walker. Seth Watson. Jackson Wolf.
Again, congratulations to all you that participated. We had a few that came toward the end of the year, and I'm sorry some of you guys didn't get a chance to participate that much. We'll try to get you out. One's got a t-shirt. We'll try to get the other one a t-shirt. In closing, again, I just want to say thank you again to everybody that came, all my supervisors here, the teachers, all the parents for coming, and I want to remind you of fifth graders of something. Guys, always have a positive mindset no matter what you do in life, because some people, a lot of times out on the street, I hear people say, well, that's just the way it is because where I live or where I grew up. Well, I want to let you know something right now, that no matter where you live, where you grow up, what situation you're in, you're going to have a choice one day, and you can change that. So I always think that I'm not going to be held down by my surroundings, or I'm not going to be dictated by where I live or who I hang out with, because you guys can make a choice. And like our DA said earlier, Steve, he said, make good choices. Hang around the right people. Don't accept things that you know are not good for you. And with that being said, thank you for coming today. Thank you all for being supportive of me. I want to thank Randy Salter's not here, but he did our t-shirts. If you're ever down at Just Do and you run into Randy, you want to say thank you, because he did these t-shirts. He does them every year. Again, thank you for parents for coming. And finally, to you students, y'all have been great and wonderful. And please don't let this be the last time that you and I cross paths. If you see me out and about, or you see any of these guys out and about, and you have any questions, or you just want to talk or say, hey, you remember me? I was at the DARE graduation. Whatever you want to talk about, we'll be glad to talk to you, help you out in any way possible. And with that being said, thank y'all for coming to our DARE graduation. Thank y'all.